Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to a Cyberweekend deals reaction video. Now, what I'm releasing over this weekend with the last bit of energy I have before I take a little bit of time off is that I'll be doing this video, which is a reaction type video, including what I plan to do with Cyberweekend. A second video, which is going to be tailored towards top tips and also things to consider, advice and stuff like that. And a third video, which is how many units you can get between now and the end of the event next week. Now, I will take this literally from Kabam in that they're saying that this is a cyber week, with all this ending on December 2nd. And again, I will take them literally at what they're saying is when they say with here, we'll be running from Friday, November 25th to Friday 2nd. Expect bonuses when buying units and special offers that week. Those offers will be tailored to your current progression, blah, blah, blah. Remember, we have been here before, people. When Kabam have said stuff like this, they've shown stuff like this in-game, and then it turns out that these particular, unit offers that you go into game, you're like, oh, I'll just go to my store, and they'll be there for the length of time that Cyber Weekend goes on, and they end earlier than you might think. If you remember how July 4th worked, it gave the impression from some literal elements that we would have until end of play Tuesday, but in fact it was Monday when the store in this particular tab, so for non-spending players and also those that are spent on unit deals, were unable to purchase anything from it. So okay, I'll take Kabam at their word and literally for that. Kabam let us in the CCP take a look at the release of the Cyber Weekend preview, which is handy for me for creating content. Today is the only time I've been able to access it because, you know, I've got COVID. That's a bad time to cough right there. I didn't mean to do that on purpose. I just had to clear something. That was honestly the worst timing ever. In any case, let's get into it before I kind of laugh and joke and stuff. So we're going to go over the good and the bad and the ugly with this one. Especially kind of focusing on more so for those at Thronebreaker and Paragon. I will have a spreadsheet which is going to be helping you out. It's got several tabs that I'm working on at the moment, which have top tips and other stuff. So that's going to be what I'm going to refer to in future videos. I've got to work on this pretty fast. So let's just get down to the point of the video. And the point of the video is kind of like having an assessment, a reaction, looking at the good and the bad of these particular deals. Let's kick off with the spending side of things, and there's some actually pretty spicy stuff available for people that are willing to spend. Am I spending? No. I've made the decision that I'm just sick of this. I'm sick of the constant chasing for the current meta, and also the extent of money, the disgusting amount of money that you end up having to spend in order to get up to that particular point. And it might be like, oh, well, now that you're non-spending, are you actually going to get up to a point where you're competing against everybody else, or kind of like feeling that there's that line that you feel equal to? No, and to be honest, I don't care. If I did care, I would be kind of like, oh, I've got to get Odins because you get 2 Abyss 6-star level Nexuses. So you get to choose a 1 or 10. I mean, that's good. You get a 6-star Awakening Gem, which we said, that's massively devalued, and it's good to see Kabam putting it in the Odin Vault. But then there's other things as well, like if you're spending £99 and not able to rank for a 6-star champion, okay, like it's not really, would you really want to spend? Yes, you get 250 bonus units, but it's like, well, it doesn't really get you anything. And then tier 6 class catalyst fragment crystal 25%. We will probably see, I'll go probably see, rank 5 6-star champions within Marvel Contest of Champions by the end of the year. I think I said that before, and it looks fairly likely. With that one, especially for the non-spending deals do look good, but if you're looking to spend, the thing that I say with everybody is like, if you are willing to spend, interested in spend, don't go too mad. Do not benchmark your expectations, wants and desires against any other player. Focus on you. Enjoy the game for what you want to enjoy it for. Don't feel that you have to be pressured into spending each time, because that's it's one of the things that, like, sucks the fun. And I have more fun with Marvel Contest of Champions non-spending than I did spending. That's just a point there. But in any case, rant over on that particular subject. Moving on. I'm in good spirits, by the way. It's just the case the body's not willing. Mind happy, body not willing. That's really it at the moment. But we move on, okay? So spending-wise, as I said, the point there. Is there anything good to look out for spending? It's down to an individual purchase, perspective on what you want. Are you close to a progression level? Is it worth spending on stuff to get you up there? If you're Thronebreaker, are you seeing rank rank 4 6-star materials. That's what you want. You know, you may look at the Odin Vault and going, well, it's not going to get me close to, it may get me close, maybe not. Do I really want to spend £100, $100 on this? Ask these key questions. Look at your glory store. Look in your battlegrounds store. Look to where you're close first and foremost. I'm not saying don't spend. Well, I am saying to a degree don't spend. But kind of like make decisions based on what you're close to. Is it worth it? Can you wait? Also, we've got things like Eternity of Pain. Can you wait a couple of weeks in order to kind of be Paragon without having to spend a penny? You know, that's another thing as well. Just consider those things. But I'll cover this more in the top tips. I want to be very kind of like to the point on this stuff, because there's a lot to go over. They've got unit bundle progression things, so you like buy a little bit and kind of go up a little bit, which is great. And then some of the various different types of, if you go into the store and spend your units, what you're getting back from it. There's actually some really good stuff for non-spending Paragon players. There's a very debatable, and we'll go over like why I consider this debatable in a minute, bundle about 5-star relic shards, which is there, and tier 2 alloy catalyst crystal and a tier 3 basic alloy for 5,000 units, especially because a lot of that stuff you could get within game. It's a debatable one to go and grab, but I'm sure people will be interested to go for it because it gives a chance, it gives a 100% guarantee of a 5-star relic. And at the same time, we'll look at other things that will be helpful. But you can get this stuff for free. Or you will at some point get them for free. Or you could spend less amount of units to get similar. So again, it's a debatable thing when it comes to that spend. And those only are available for certain kind of progressions. It's not available for Cavalier, any relic-based items, which is a bit weird. But hey, you know, that's it's weird. Also weird that like it's exactly the same. Available for those that are Thronebreaker. I'm not saying in like a bad way or a good way, it's just weird. Okay, but I want to switch over to I want to talk about the good and the bad. So in my spreadsheet I've put, and the reason I'm making these several videos is that I don't want to make one video that's about 30 minutes long. I want to do like at least, I don't know, a 8-minute video, a 10-minute video, and then finally like another kind of 10-minute video, just so they're kind of broken up and they cover the topics of these particular segments of the spreadsheet, which will be the link in the description. So the good, which I should rename the good is choice. Choice is better. You get to choose loads of different options, right? Paragon players spend less units to access rank 4 6-star materials, which is an improvement since July 4th deals. WeaponX can be somewhat guaranteed from spending. That's another thing we'll kind of go on in a second, that you can get a WeaponX, which kind of devalues the champion. Plus, I'll cover the bad. Thronebreaker and Paragon get access to the same Relic Chase rewards at 10,000 units. So at 10,000 units deep, because it's 5,000 to unlock and a further 5,000 to grab them. Thronebreakers spend 5,000 units to access half a tier 6 basic and half a tier 3 alpha, which back in July 4th deals, 15k units got you a tier 6 basic and a tier 3 alpha, so you had to spend more units to get less, I think the point I'm getting to. Prime Ascendant crystals have gone. Thumbs up, they've gone. Past era crystals is massive, as you can pick your god tier from the past years, so again, fantastic. It's a week-long event, which means you have more time to make decisions. Fantastic. Unlock spread is better for going to brackets, so spending 5k units. I should put there. You know, it's kind of like, it's just better on the bracket spend in order to get there, and you get more for it. Everything is better on spend versus July 2022. The bad. Limited relic shards, so it forces you to consider Thronebreaker relic crystals, so you put your whim and mercy of the RNG. General unit spend is higher than normal to get all the items or best items, so where you found that you were spending 18k units and feeling, thumbs up, I've done enough, you'll feel like you want to spend 21,000, even 24,000 units in order to kind of feel you've got more or got the full minutiae of Cyberweekend. 5-star relics are premium chase items, which is a bit, yeah, they're kind of considered a bit more kind of expensive, which I disagree with. Less shards and have limits to have some bump up to the unit spend requirements. Don't know, a COVID brain, I think, with that, and I think I might have to rejig what I'm saying there. But I think what I was trying to say is that the access to shards, you have to make a real decision. Are you going for shards, or are you making gains for your rank ups, which is the kind of way that I'm looking at it more from a rank up perspective with this Cyber Weekend. Spending deals look a tad pathetic for Paragon. They do and they don't. Okay, debatable on this factor. I think more so when you're looking at things like the Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha, which, look, the difficult thing is you don't want to feel like you're so far away from spenders as a non-spending player, but at the same time is people that spend want to see value. We've got a cost of living crisis at the moment, so it's important to look at, you know, value for money. And with no 7-star shards, and again, relics being kind of like in that mix, like there needs to be a nice kind of fair balance there, which is sort of there, and I think debatable. Spenders, I think, will maybe a little bit disappointed with what they see. WeaponX rarity is diminished, so the rarity around getting that particular champion is gone. And we've definitely seen a huge devaluation, which is a good thing, by the way. It's a good thing, but also a bad thing for those that spend, because you'll see devaluation in a very short space of time. Let's now move on to the subject of WeaponX. And as I said, he's put into deals, and that is that any summoner that purchases all limited time bundles in the unit store that are part of the sale will receive a 6-star Wolverine WeaponX. Oh god, that's just like, again, like, yeah, not particularly great for the value of that particular champion. Good news for those who want like extra value, and I guess for some players maybe like where they see some extra value, so that's good. As I said, I'm non-spending, so I'm not even going to bother with it. I do have one, but I pulled one as a 5-star rarity from a Greater Gifting Crystal last year. This is probably where a lot of people's theories are that Jessica Jones may be within the Greater Gifting Crystal or Equal Rarity Similarity Crystal that's going to be released next month, so we'll have to see. Okay, now onto the subject of frequently asked questions. When is Cyber Weekend running? Ends on 2nd December. Available for contender and above progressions. There are 2 components to sell: bundles in the unit store with bonus items, and yeah, bundles in the Cyber Weekend store. And then there's other things about progression, and let's see if there's anything else interesting. How do I access the bundles? Buying them, opening them, stuff like that. Wasn't keeping track of my units. I spent Cyber Weekend. There's a tracking solo event thing that's going to be up. You don't get anything. It just tracks you where you're up to the point of unit spend. And then there's other things as well. I think if you go up a progression, if I buy all unit packs in my progression, then reach a new progression, buy all units in that progression, will I get WeaponX twice? Yes, so you get an awakening. If I buy half the unit packs in my progression, then reach a new progression, and buy the other half of the unit packs, is that progression, will I get WeaponX? No, you must buy all the unit packs. It gives you an idea there. In any case, like, that's all. There's frequently asked questions, which I think is available on this will be available on the forums, I want to say. Command won't kind of like hold this information, should be kind of like, you know, given out to everybody on the subject. And the question may be like, what am I doing, right? Because that's very important. I mean, it's important for me, and it's not really important for you, but you have to make decisions based on what you are doing. So just to give people a perspective, and as I said, a top tips video, Best Buys video is going to be out in a moment, and an update to the spreadsheet. But what am I personally doing? I am going for more of a rank up. So my particular process is referred to as Rich's plan is the rank up, spank up. So even with COVID, I got a bit of a bit funny, aren't I? So mine is based on a 24,000 unit spend, and my notes for this one is that by doing this particular method, which I'm debating about this particular relic bundle at 5,000 units. I don't know if I totally agree with it, and I'm kind of like, it's going to be I've got a week to decide. So I can say to myself, right, well, let's instead reinvest those 5,000 units and go, right, well, let's do 5 Thronebreaker relic crystals, see what I get. The problem is, it's 2.5% to try and get a 5-star relic. Is it going to happen? No, but it could mean I get a lot more relics for the value of the units I invest into it. Again, as I said, this is debatable. I haven't 100% made a decision. But then the other side of things is going and doing extra bundles that grab rank ups. And as I said, one of the big things I needed to do is improve my Battlegrounds deck. So my deck needs to be improved. Cue New Zealand-based joke about saying the word dick. So I'm going with bundle 1, 2, and 4 in the advanced side of things. So that's the starting off. Because it gives rank for 6-star materials at a low threshold. Yes, I'm grabbing something extra to give 6,000 units, but it's giving me shards. And shards is helpful. because I want to get another 6-star featured, and maybe some more stuff, I don't know. And then it's more tier 3 alpha, tier 3 alpha, tier 6 basic, tier 6 basic, 3 6-star nexuses. Again, more champions that could be beneficial, more defensive options for battlegrounds. Tier 5 basics, 15 tier 5 basics, 15 tier 2 alpha, and 4 tier 5 class catalyst. And once I've bought all that stuff, debatable, as I said about the bundle 4, I'll then go for the past era selector and choose a champion from a list, which I'll include a link to. If I can find the link, I'll grab this, which gives a long list of champions that have been released in the last several years, and could, like, you know, earmark a good god tier to help you out in some sort of capacity. And then, yeah, like getting a 6-star awakening gem, which I need. You can actually buy that 2 other times, so 3 times total, and then 2 times tier 6 class catalyst fragment crystals, just so I can keep up to date with the meta and hopefully one day get a rank 5 6-star champion. So my early reactions to the Cyber Weekend deals are, they're good if you can find something that's tailored for you, and if you've got the units, you will feel happy about what you want to get. There's some stuff you might want to avoid, but I think there's definitely going to be, there's always like times where you'll say, well, they're all right. If I was spending, I'm maybe slightly disappointed with what I've seen. Definitely, if you are like following what it's up to you how you feel about it, whether or not you feel it's good or whether or not you think it's bad. I've definitely found a lot more good than I found bad, but as I said, I'm approaching this from a different kind of perspective this year, being a non-spending player, and I have goals and aspirations that I want to achieve, which I can do if I spend the 24 units that I've 24,000 units I've earmarked for the different sections. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Cyber Weekend deals? This is the reaction video. Top tips video will be out in a moment. Thanks very much for watching. Check out some other content located on screen, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.